Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Reborn. So last time we dealt with 7th Street, we dealt with the Sub-7 Sanctum, we saved Luna and she gave us the key to go find her at her gym. And before we go on, I actually want to talk about a few things. So first off, I want to say thank you guys for all the support. When I started this series, I started it because someone on the forums actually said, hey, there's no 100% walkthrough, video walkthrough. And I myself had noticed that even before they mentioned it, and I said, you know what, maybe I might do this someday. But I was not expecting the support that this was going to get. I also want to say thank you to the people in the comments who correct me on the mistakes that I make. I usually try to pin the comments that point them out, that way anyone who is watching the video can look at the comments and they can kind of not make the same mistake that I do. And I usually try to mention the mistake later on in a different video. That's actually not all. So speaking of mistakes, I made a big one last episode. I tried to correct it in the description below the video. But basically I said that the Pokemon that you want to make sure that you do not touch, the ones that you buy from the stolen Pokemon store for shards in 7th Street, which should be all the way down here. Ones that you don't want to touch are Loudred, Jigglypuff, Vanillite, Roggenrola, and Makahita. That's right. And for the most part, you don't really have any reason to bother with any of them, but you don't want to evolve them, and you probably don't want to train them. I mean, you'd be fine if you wanted to train them, but you could have gotten a Vanillite and a Makahita before we even got to 7th Street. And a Roggenrola, you'll have a chance to get a Gigalith or a Gigalith later if you want, or you could just breed it. And the same goes for the Jigglypuff. You will have a chance to get a Wigglytuff later, or again, you could just breed that Jigglypuff. The Loudred is the only Loudred in the game, and the only other way you could have gotten anything from the Loudred line is by doing the Whismur event at the start of the game. So if you didn't collect the Whismur at the start of the game, then you might want to breed that Loudred, but there's no consequences for breeding them. You just need them as they are unevolved. I also didn't really mention the steps for finding Bennett if you were in the Aqua Gang. I mean, I kind of glazed over it, but basically the gang members should be in the same location. So if you're in the Aqua Gang, you'd want to talk to this gang member right there. You would want to talk to the salesman on the other side of the fence right there, and then you would want to talk to this Aqua Gang member, and then you would want to go inside the watering hole. Which is really weird because I never really thought of this as the watering hole. I always thought of like this as the watering hole. But I guess not. So anyways, with all that out of the way, we're actually going to continue on with the story, and that means going to the Van Hanen Labyrinth and going on the trip to Luna's gym. Over here, we're going to be taking part in a little bit of a puzzle. First off, you want to go straight into that tree and you'll find a cave, and at the end of this cave, you'll find a red shard. You want to activate it and then crack the wall with Rock Smash. And now we can kind of move on. This isn't good. I don't think I took a Pokemon that could learn Dark Pulse later. But anyways, so as for the puzzle, we want to start off over here, and we want to activate this red gem, or yeah, we do. That's a red gem. I was gonna say, wait, is it a gem or a crystal? And it doesn't really matter. You want to break open the wall, and you want to come all the way over here. You want to activate this red gem or crystal over here, break open the wall again, and you want to leave through this exit right here, and you will find a mining rock and the next crystal key. So if you actually check in your bag, it'll update to show you that you now have a red and a green crystal key. The green crystal key will actually let us take part in another side event later on, but we're not really interested in that right now. So when you activate the green crystal key, it will replace certain obstacles on the map with green crystals that you can Rock Smash. So we're going to Rock Smash that, and then we're going to activate that and break on through the wall. Bennett will come over here and he will reveal that he has been stalking us, which is extremely creepy. And we want to move on through this cave, and I believe at the end over here we should find the blue crystal key. It seems pretty easy so far, right? Not too terribly complicated. By giving you those 3 crystal keys early on, it really makes this feel like it's going to be a very simple puzzle, but it's not. So over here we're going to activate the blue crystal gem, and from here we actually want to go north. You want to activate this green crystal right here, and then this red one over here. It seems like it's a bit out of the way, but it's actually not. We keep going down here, there should be another green crystal that we can eventually activate, and we're going to need that for later. So if we backtrack a little, also I forgot to mention, but the green crystals do respawn, which is really, really annoying. I'm going to activate that green crystal again, break through, and we're going to activate this blue crystal and walk on over. I think you kind of get the idea. I don't think you really need me saying all this out loud. It kind of feels like a waste to be saying all this out loud. But then again, I am speeding through this pretty quickly. So in here we should finally get the final crystal, but not before Bennett is going to come up to us and ask us if we'll leave him alone. I don't like Bennett, so I'm going to say no. There is no consequence for this. The only consequence is that your relationship points with Bennett will either go up or down. Anyways, if you activate this crystal right here, you can invert the cave. We can come all the way down here, make another path across the water, and then we can end up in this dead end of a cave. And you want to activate the purple crystal inside of there and leave. So now it's just a lot of backtracking. But we're pretty much done. We have done the major part of this side quest. Also, something else I forgot to mention was, if you are waiting to get that unpheasant for the Type Null mini quest, then you can find high level Tranquil out in the wild over here. And all you need to do is level them up once, and you have an unpheasant. So over here I'm going to invert this cave right here. And when we exit, we'll actually find a few things. First, we'll find a protector. I believe that's for evolving Rhydon into Rhyperior. We can also break open that crystal right there, and we can open the wall over here. We'll find the field readout for the Dark Crystal Cavern, and we will find a Dark Memory for Sableye. Actually, inside of this room, you can use the move Dark Pulse, which will turn this room into a Dark Crystal Cavern, and you can find Sableye inside of here. I don't think I'll be showing that because I don't think I have anything that can learn the Dark Pulse move on my team right now. And you don't need something that learns it naturally, because after you beat Luna, Dark Pulse is the TM reward for it. But moving on to other optional paths, I believe we want to go all the way back over here. And we want to activate this crystal right here. So now we want to head to the northern path, and there should be one more optional extra reward that we can get. And I actually have to activate this crystal right here. Over here is another mining stone and a dust stone. This should be the first dust stone that you can get your hands on. Unless you have like the mining overhaul mod, then you can actually mine dust stones. You will eventually be able to buy them, but not right now. So anyways, we need to go back into this cave, and we need to change this crystal back to normal. And then we have to head back to the first cave that we entered. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. So we want to enter this cave again and go all the way through it, It looks like nothing has changed, but once you enter this cave, you'll notice that there is actually a change in direction over here. You will find a healing shard in case your Pokemon are injured, and that also signifies that there is a boss fight coming up right here. So I recommend you save right here and stop and get ready for a boss fight. Moving forward, we will meet Luna, and there should also be a cutscene right here. Basically, Bennett will kind of approach her, he will refuse to take no for an answer, and continue to be creepy by trying to take the key from us so he can go see Luna again. So first off, we are fighting in the Dark Crystal Cavern. The only notable things for this battle is that Signal Beam is significantly stronger, Night Slash is a little bit stronger as well, and I believe Morning Sun does not recover as much HP as normally. And this is pretty important because, one, starting off with his Larvesta, it has Flame Body, No Held Item, Flame Charge, Bug Bite, Zen Headbutt, and Morning Sun, which again is not that effective in here. This battlefield is more of a give and take for Bennett than the previous battlefield that we dealt with. And the previous field that we dealt with, which was the Mirror Field, it was much more in his advantage. Like, he knew how to actually use it with the Bright Powder and whatnot. This is a lot more fair. So anyways, I'm going to knock out that Larvesta right there. His next Pokemon is going to be his Venomoth, and I believe I'm going to send out my Klinkling. I really want my Klinkling to kind of have a bit of the action here. So I'm going to set up Shift Gear, and he's likely to set up Quiver Dance. The Venomoth has the ability Shield Dust, which means there's no chance that secondary effects are going to actually activate on it. It's holding the leftovers, it has the moves Quiver Dance, Baton Pass, Sleep Powder, and Signal Beam. And it might try to attack me right now. Okay, maybe not. I could go for one more. I don't know if I'd actually survive it though. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a Gear Grind. Alright, there we go. So that should be his Venomoth down. His next Pokemon is going to be his Yanmega. A new addition to his team, it has Speed Boost, it has a Life Orb, it has Protect, Giga Drain, Ancient Power, and Signal Beam. This could use some serious damage to me if I let it, and it might. Oh, actually got that, okay. Next up is going to be his Dustox. His Dustox has the ability Compound Eyes, it has the held item Leftover, it has Quiver Dance, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, and Moonlight. Moonlight actually will heal 75% of your HP in the Dark Crystal Cavern. Kind of forgot to mention that. So I should be able to knock it out cleanly right here. Alright, there we go. Next up is his Scyther. Technician has an ability, No Held Item, Sword Stance, Night Slash, Wing Attack, and Bug Bite. I don't know if that critical hit actually mattered for knocking it out with one Gear Grind hit. So finally will be the Butterfree. Compound Eyes, Leftovers again, Sleep Powder, Quiver Dance, Signal Beam, and Giga Drain. He really overuses Leftovers on this team. But anyways, I might actually knock this out in one hit. Yep. So Bennett's going to throw a slight mini tantrum and leave. And thankfully he is out of the way. I recommend that you heal up with the shard. I actually just did that. I did not need to use the repel. Something unique about this place is actually you can leave and re-enter to respawn the shard. And you can do this even after you defeat Luna too. This is very good because it means you can kind of train up here if you really want to. So now for Luna. I kind of have to fully explain the Dark Crystal Cavern. So basically certain moves will get an increase in power. We already mentioned some of them. Others would be Dark Pulse, Night Daze, Night Slash, Shadow Ball, Shadow Bone, Shadow Claw, Shadow Force, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Punch, Aura Beam, Signal Beam, Flash Cannon, Dazzling Gleam, Mirror Shot, and Doom's Desire and Power Gem. Not sure why I actually just mentioned Doom's Desire. That's Jirachi's move, and I omitted pretty much every other legendary move from the list, but oh well. Other than that, Flash's stat change is actually amplified, so you will drop your opponent's accuracy by 2 instead of just 1. Moonlight will restore 75% of your max HP instead of the regular 50%. Synthesis and Morning Sun will only restore 25%. Solar Beam and Solar Blade will always fail. Aurora Veil is enabled somehow. I don't understand that one. I guess it's the crystals. Nature Power will become Dark Pulse. Secret Power may lower accuracy, and Camouflage will turn you into a Dark type. Magical Seeds will boost special defense and apply Magic Coat to the user. Curious about what Magic Coat is. It basically reflects status codes or statuses back at the user. So if somebody tried to toxic me and I just activated a Magical Seed, then I would bounce the toxic back at them. And if you want to remove this field for whatever the reason, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Earthquake, Bulldoze, and Magnitude will turn it into a cave, and Harsh Sunlight will turn it into a crystal cavern. So again, I'm going to save right here, and it's time to deal with Luna. Actually, I need to put Infernape in the front. Okay, now it's time to deal with Luna. Alright, here we go. So her first Pokemon is going to be White Rabbit the Absol. All her Pokemon are nicknamed, and I believe she calls them by the nicknames as she's sending them out. So it's kind of a good idea to understand their nicknames and know which is which. Pressure for an ability, Sword Stance, Sucker Punch, Play Rough, and Night Slash for moves, and Life Orb as the held item. It doesn't matter. If you have Blaziken or Infernape, you're probably going to sweep this. For the most part. So after that, she's going to send out her Honchkrow. Thankfully, she referred to it by her Pokemon's name. That's weird. I think one of them she does refer to by its actual nickname. I'm going to send out my Kling Kling right here. This Honchkrow has Moxie, it has the Muscle Band, it has Sucker Punch, Night Slash, Roost, and Brave Bird. That Night Slash can critical hit and do so much damage if it does. I think it's a roll to actually knock me out if it critical hits. That doesn't matter because I'm only sending in my Kling Kling to get a little bit of chip damage on her Honchkrow. After that, I'm going to send my Infernape back in and close combat this thing, and it should go down. So now her Weavile is going to come in. And I'm going to send out my Meowstic right here on this Weavile. Again, the ability is Pressure. It has a Focus Sash, which is why I sent in my Meowstic. It has Power Punch, Ice Shard, Poison Jab, and Night Slash. So I want to pop that Focus Sash right there. I'm going to set up Reflect, but I kind of hope that it just knocks me out right here. If it knocks me out, then I get the most out of my Reflect. Or not. So after that, I'm going to send in my Infernape right here, and I should be able to just Mach Punch this thing and knock it out. It's 4 times weak to fighting, and it's very, very, very frail. Next is going to come her Umbreon. This is her ace. It has the ability Synchronize, it has the Leftovers, it has Moonlight, Dark Pulse, Double Team, and Toxic. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a close combat. That should be a 2-hit KO because this thing is bulky. Unfortunately, it's going to put my Infernape on a timer, but I can deal with that. I'm just going to hit it with another close combat and knock it out. And finally is going to come her Bisharp. I'm never really sure how to say that. So I'm going to send out my Nidoqueen on this because I don't want to keep my Infernape out while it has 2 defense drops. So this Bisharp has the ability Defiant, it has the Rocky Helmet, it has Iron Head, Knockoff, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rocks, and that's pretty much it. I may actually one-shot this. Okay then. And now here is going to come out her Tyranitar. As Unnerve for an ability, it has the Assault Vest, it has Brick Break, Iron Head, Crunch, and Stone Edge. The Assault Vest basically just boosts its defense by a lot, special defense by a lot. It's kind of a shame that it doesn't have Sandstream though, because its special defense would be absolutely massive if it had Sandstream. But instead, I'm just going to 2-hit KO it right here. And that is Luna. Also, if you didn't know, her nicknames are actually from Alice in Wonderland. So anyways, you will receive Dark Pulse, and I need to heal up right here. So you could go back to that cave that I showed you earlier, and you could get yourself a Sableye. I'm not going to do that. I believe I mentioned it enough, and I believe you know how to do it right now. Instead, I want to do some more optional content. I want to head over to the entrance, or rather the exit of Tanzan Mountain that connects it to the southern Aveneran Woods, and I'll talk to you there. So we're over here at the exit to Tanzan Mountain, and we want to actually come down all the way here to this exit. I believe you'll remember this as where Saphira actually came out of after she crashed on the giant Steelix. So there's a bit of a puzzle here. We can use the green shard to get up to this ledge and jump off the ledge, and we want to come right down over here and jump off this ledge over here. So I'm going to be straight up about what we're actually going after. We're going after a Solosis, the only Solosis in the game, so if you want to complete the Pokédex, then you're going to have to come here. And we're also going after an item that will help us access the area where you would evolve a Nosepass into Probopass, a Magneton into Magnezone, and I believe... I'm trying to think of what else. I think it's Charjabug into Vikavolt. So anyways, over here, we're at a bit of a Strength Rock puzzle. So if you mess this up, then you can simply exit to reset it. And hopefully I don't mess this up. I'm going to have to turn off my speed up because I don't want to run the risk of actually accidentally bumping into a stone and just completely ruining my puzzle. So I believe it's fine if I do this, and I believe the best option over here is to access this tube right here. What you're trying to do is you're trying to access all three of these tubes, and once you do, you can open the path. So I believe this is the right way to access this tube down here. This is what gives most people trouble. So that is 2 tubes down, and I believe I can come up over here. Feels so slow, and I didn't mean to do that, but that works. And that is 3 tubes. So over here there was actually a tree originally. It's gone now. And I can turn my speed up back on. Here we actually have one more puzzle to kind of deal with, and I believe we want to first jump off over here, use strength, and push this boulder over here and push it all the way back. I believe we want to go all the way up here, push this boulder all the way down, and then we want to jump off the edge over there. So you'll end up over here in this room with the 2 ladders, and you want to jump into the hole again, jump back into the hole again, and climb up the ladder and push this boulder all the way off the edge into the hole. Push it to the side of the ladder, and we can finally progress. So all the way over to the left side of here is the inverse field readout. I don't believe we've actually encountered that yet, so we'll have to talk about that another time. And over here, if you look behind this test tube, you will find a bit of an entrance. So right here is the Yureyu key, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And over here is a test tube that you can click on to find a Solosis. If you click on it again, the Solosis will come with you. I'm just going to send it to my PC. I don't really want to deal with it yet. And that's all for this area. So we're going to backtrack, and I'm actually going to meet you at the old Yureyu power plant, otherwise known as Shade's Gym. Actually, over here at the abandoned power plant, the old Yureyu power plant or Shade's Gym, you'll notice the lights are kind of on, and that's not the direction I want to go first. So first, I want to actually go to the right, and we will use the Yureyu key to open this door right here, and we will find a couple neat items. We'll find a magnet, and we'll find the TM95 for Snarl. Now for the left side. It's a bit weird because I remember when I first came here, I actually thought that the two sides were connected, so it didn't matter which direction you went in from, but that is not the case. So over here you will actually find a room with 6 Pokeballs. This is actually the room that you would want to be in to evolve your Magneton into Magnezone, your Nosepass into Probopass, and your Charjabug into Vikavolt. And, more importantly, okay, maybe not more importantly to everybody, but all those Pokeballs are level 85 electrodes. I'm not kidding you. And we actually want to defeat all 6 of them in order to make a certain event happen. So I've actually defeated all the electrodes in this room, and you'll notice that the entire power plant will lose power once you do that. Also, something to note is that you can actually catch these electrodes. I decided to catch one of them. I just saved and I chucked balls pretty much. They're nothing special, honestly. A lot of them have explosion as well, so you could just kind of save and just reset until they explode on you. But over here we have something a little bit special, and I'm going to save right here before we start the event. So if you turn the screen on, you'll see a little event. And a Rotom will come forth. I'm not going to make you watch me catch this, obviously, but just kind of showing it's there. So that's pretty much everything for this part. I caught the Rotom, and I actually caught the Electrode too, one of them. They won't listen to you. They're way too high level to listen to you, but you can use them as over-leveled fodder, basically. Send them out while you're healing something else up, because they could probably tank a few hits, depending on what's giving out the hits. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this helped out. I hope I did everything correctly, and I will catch you guys on the next part.